Hey, Mike.
Hey, Ethan.
How you doing, Dad?
Good, son. Good to be with you.
Good to be with you as well. Hey, so I have been thinking recently about one-on-one meetings. It is kind of the beginning of the year. It's always a time to look at the past year, look forward of what's going to happen this year. And again, thinking more about one-on-ones, not only with, the team here at Nash Consulting, but, our clients are also thinking about one-on-ones. And I don't know, I want to get your thoughts on ways to keep one-on-ones going, useful, exciting. So
yeah, relevant, worth the time. People should be able to walk away from them feeling like there was time well spent.
Yeah, especially if you've been committed to running them for a while now. I'm sure I'm not alone where I get into this place where it's like, okay, a one-on-one is coming up next week and I want to start planning for it or in a couple weeks. And gosh, what do I do to make this well worth my time and especially well worth my employees' time as well?
Yeah.
Right? There's only so many things to talk about.
Yeah, and I think if anything, they can get stale based on either devolving back into being very, tasky, talk about the work, or kind of I don't have anything. Do you have anything? So yeah, good topic. Let's do it.
Or what I've seen happen, and was just talking with a client about this last week, as they've seen this kind of problem crop up was, I don't have anything to talk about, me either. Okay, let's cancel it. And that happens week after week, and next thing you know, it's been several months before you've had a one-on-one.
Yes.
And it defeats kind of the purpose of keeping these regular scheduled.
Yeah, and that's a sign that you've missed it. You've missed the point. Because if it's really about, I don't have anything for you, you don't have anything for me, clearly we're back to very urgent, tasky, in-the-moment stuff as opposed to relationship building, really making sure that needs are met, asking good questions, asking for feedback. So it's a good hint that you've maybe kind of gone sideways.
Yeah, that's a good sign. And of course, I recognize, and I think many people recognize at this point that, we know that regular scheduled one-on-one meetings is very directly correlated with success of management. And there's plenty of studies and research that I could throw in your face to prove that, but I actually don't think we need a lot of research to understand that intuitively.
Right. Just
that connection that you have with people, right? Having that, what we talk about, the relationship task balance in those meetings. That's your opportunity to deliver on a lot of, awesome management skills, like showing up with care and respect, listening, asking for feedback, receiving feedback, all sorts of things. So I think we can intuitively get that. And yet sometimes we need some help with how to keep these going.
Yep. And you know what? I would, even before we jump into a couple different specific ideas, the number one thing I would say to a manager is, even if it's 5 minutes, even if it's just 5 minutes, please carve out a little bit of time and think about your one-on-one. And that seems really obvious, but it's so easy just to go from one meeting to the next, and suddenly you're in a one-on-one and you haven't thought about it, and you're kind of hoping it goes fast because you have a lot to do, right? 5 minutes, 10 minutes just to stop and maybe look at the top 15 management skills or look at your notes from the last one-on-one and just get ready.
Yeah, absolutely. What advice do you have for me? As well as anybody else listening out there that's interested in rejuvenating their one-on-one meetings. Like what? Maybe some ideas here, questions that we could ask, approaches that we could take.
Yeah. Well, on top of preparing for 5 or 10 minutes, I would say this might be a good time, beginning of the year, to sit down with each employee at your next one-on-one and talk about one-on-ones. It might be just a good time to say for you and I, what's working, what's not. I want to make these as valuable as possible. I want to make sure you're getting what you want and need, and that I am. So let's talk. Let's take a step back and look at our one-on-ones, and let's make some action plans or changes or affirm what's working or whatever.
Yeah, it can be a reset point.
Absolutely,
similar to how businesses do this on a regular cycle at the year of, let's look back. Let's look forward. What's working? What's not working? What would you like to see more of? Less of? Keep doing? Stop doing? Those type of questions. I like that.
Yeah, and I think the one caution I would give on that, Ethan, is if the employee said, well, I just don't want to do these, or I want to do these way less. I think we need to be the ones that hold the line and say, you know what, we want to, let's just make these win-win. Let's make these work. Let's make these valuable. Let's do that instead, because I think we have some opportunities here.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a good opportunity to lean in as. Okay, basically what I'm hearing here, I'm not saying that you say this out loud, this might be going on your head, but what I'm hearing here is that you're not seeing a lot of value in these one-on-one meetings, and that's something to get very curious about. So instead of saying, you're right, I guess they're not very useful, it's like, no, how do we make this well worth your time? How do we make sure this is valuable for you? And that could be the question to ask.
Right.
What would make this valuable for you? Yep. What type of things would you like us to talk about, work on together, partner on?
Yeah, that's good.
Those type of things.
Yeah. And then I think another thing, and this is a little in the category of if there's a problem, so this might be a little not proactive, but if you're sensing that there's some kind of a roadblock around one-on-ones between you and this employee, and you're sensing that it might be about you and this employee, like there's something there. There's some power differential issue going on. There's, something. Don't be shy. Don't be shy to dig in. Don't be shy to say, hey, why don't let's talk about us. Let's talk about how we're doing in our work relationship. What might be in the way? What could I do less of or more of? What do we need from each other? So, I mean, that's not a bad question anyways for one-on-ones, but it might be a kind of a good thing to do while you're sort of re-upping your one-on-ones.
Yeah, I like that. Nice. A framework for some questions that I heard someone talk about recently, which I really like, is these kind of 3 big bucket questions, which is, where have you been? Where are you now? And where would you like to go? And of course, that could be taken a lot of different ways. And I could see some benefit of even leaving that pretty open-ended there for them to go where they want with that, if that's the type of person that can be flexible in that way. But I like that approach because we're saying, hey, it's the beginning of the year. Let's look back. Like, where were you a year ago in your development, or 6 months ago, or 2 years ago, or 5 years ago? Where have you been? And then where are you now? And getting people to kind of lean into and recognize the progress they've made from where they are to where are you now, right? That could be skill-based. Well, last year I didn't really have skills in X, Y, and Z. Now I feel more competent. Or I was here with a project and now I'm here. Or I was here with my just kind of connection with our team a year ago and now I'm here. And then where would you like to be, or where are you going? Okay, well, looking forward now, how do we build off some of this momentum? Here's what I'd like to accomplish. Here's some development opportunities I might be interested in. Here's how I'd like to relate differently to team members or to you or whatever that might be. Yeah. So looking back, looking present, looking forward.
That could include even my tasks, right? What kinds of things was I working on? What I might want to work on? That's good. I like it.
Yeah. I
like that a lot. Here's another one. This is one we've talked about before, but it's really kind of the basic. Again, it's not a bad first of the year question, but let's talk about the bottom line here. It's about job satisfaction, but it really digging in. Again, what are those things about your job that you just look forward to? If this is on your plate that day, you're kind of excited. That's really good for me as your manager to know that, because maybe I can help maximize those opportunities. What are those things that kind of give you the opposite feeling? Like, oh, shoot, I have to do X and Y. I don't really like that. Let's dig into that. Let's talk about those things. I find that sometimes managers, I've even been told by people in the past, well, I hate asking questions that elicit a negative answer. Like, I don't like these things because I feel like, I'm just stirring up negativity. And it's like, no. That's
you don't want to get bad news.
Yeah, you don't want to get bad news, and you don't want them to dwell on bad news. And it's like, no, that's not what's happening. You're being a real person with this human here, and you're acknowledging that, of course, they don't like everything, and that won't ever happen, right?
Yeah, and they're thinking about it whether you choose to talk about it or not. And so isn't it better to be out on the table instead of hidden and lurking in the shadows like a monster at night?
Like a vampire, yeah. And they're probably talking about it anyways with someone else.
Maybe so.
Right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about it here, So just have that openness and humility and fearlessness to be able to just talk about whatever's true for them in their job and their tasks and what they like and don't like. And you don't have to be in fix-it mode. Just because they don't like something doesn't mean that it's your job to make that better. But if you could, nothing wrong with exploring that.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. It actually, what you said made me think of maybe another conversation you could have in these one-on-ones, which is in the realm of thinking about that person's strengths, what they bring to the table, and what opportunity did they feel like they had in this last year to utilize those strengths and lean into them, which could lead to another great conversation around where could there be some opportunities in this new year to position you to really leverage your strengths and to be in positions where you can use your strengths. So, for example, you might ask something like, have you discovered any new strengths or talents that you had over the last year that you maybe didn't realize before? Or if not that, again, like where, in what jobs, situations did you get to utilize your strengths to the fullest?
That's good. And it reminds me of even one more step. What about, hey, Ethan, what are some strengths and talents and gifts that you have that never show up here? In your other life, you're a community builder and that doesn't happen here, right? Or you're an environmentalist and that doesn't happen here, right? And maybe there's opportunities.
And again, coming back to one of your points, like don't worry about asking a question that you might not know what to do. Once you get the answer, you might not know what to do with, right? They say, well, you know what? I have this particular strengths in whatever.
I play the accordion.
Well, okay, so maybe that's not. Yeah, okay, so maybe there's not an opportunity to play the accordion in this particular situation. But, hey, I think that I have this particular strength that is a bit unused in this context in our workplace, on our team. It's okay to say, yeah, gosh, that's really good to know. I wonder how we might be able to leverage that. I mean, I'm not sure right now, right? I'm not sure. Let's keep that on our radar, right? If you spot opportunities where you think you might be able to lean into that strength here, let's talk about that in our next or in our future one-on-ones. And I'll also keep my radar out for those opportunities as well, right? So again, it's not feeling like you have to then problem solve or do something with everything, but the conversation itself is enough for people to feel like, hey, look, this is worth my time. This person cares about me. They're showing respect towards me. Right. And that is the investments you're making in these one-on-ones.
I love that. That's really good. Yeah. Now, if they do say something like, I read minds.
You read minds.
I'd like to be able to use this talent here. What do you think, Ethan? Can I practice my mind reading here in staff meetings? And
I think there would probably be lots of opportunities where that would be a useful skill to have.
Right.
Yeah.
So one more I thought of, which is the I'd like to get your opinion, team member, on really how things are going around here. Like, and we've talked about this before. Anything from, hey, let's just focus on these Thursday meetings we have. I'd love to. They seem like they're getting kind of stale. Our staff meetings. I'd love to get your thoughts. What do you like and what do you not? Or our culture, we're kind of in the process of maybe back to work, and people are going to be at work more often than they used to be, since the pandemic. And, what are your thoughts on kind of where we stand right now in terms of workplace culture and morale, and what are some things we can do? So I think people love to be, you're honoring their wisdom, you're respecting the fact that they might have some really great, juicy, wonderful ideas for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Well, anything else to add for now?
There's always more, but no, that's a great place to end for now, as people are starting their new year.
I agree. Well, folks, consider using this opportunity as a reset for you and your one-on-ones. Maybe you've fallen away from it a little bit. Maybe you're worried about falling away from it. Reset, right? Think about what you would want to be asked about in one-on-one meetings. That's often a really great place to start. And by the way, and we've mentioned this on many podcast episodes, that if you send us an email, we can send you a one-on-one resource, which is a book of 350 one-on-one questions. So that should keep you busy for a while. It's a great resource. It's broken out by categories, so you can start to choose from different categories. And anyway, send us an email just at contact@nashconsulting.com, and we'll be happy to send that your way. See you next time.
Happy New Year.
Hey, folks, wait. Don't go yet. Please, stay with me for 1 second here. I want to let you know about a couple cool little goodies that we have available for you. If you dig this podcast, you will probably also dig our Managing with Mind and Heart newsletter. This is a monthly newsletter where we share articles that we write about, hey, how to thrive as a manager, how to lead teams that are characterized by high morale, engagement, psychological safety, care and respect, collaboration, and high performance. You can sign up for this newsletter by texting the word leading to the number 66866. Additionally, you can go to our website and sign up for the newsletter there. Our website is www.nashconsulting.com. And of course, if you're not already aware, we have our cornerstone program for leaders and managers, and it is called Managing with Mind and Heart. Go figure. This program is something that we often bring into organizations to work with all their leaders on helping them get aligned and singing off the same sheet of music with best practice management skills and behaviors. We've brought this to hundreds of organizations at this point with really good results. And if you are not able or inclined to bring our program in-house, twice a year, in the spring and in the fall, we offer this 6-day Managing with Mind and Heart leadership development program online for anybody that would like to sign up and join us. To learn more about this online course and to register, you can go to our website. Once again, that's nashconsulting.com. Or send us an email at contact@nashconsulting.com. All right, that's all. That's it. See you later. Bye.